Greetings, ladies and managers, and welcome to this latest edition of Free TFOS, where I take old stories I've narrated before and update them to modern audio standards. I hope that you enjoy. Mikey Helps, written by netmobs. As the lights slowly turned on in his sleep pod, Mikey opened his eyes, wiggled his way onto his blanket, and trotted to the attached cleaning pod. After a few minutes enjoying the warmth, he dried off, put on his United Earth Service uniform, and headed off to work. This is going to be a great day, Mikey thought to himself as the door from his chambers opened and the sounds and smells of the shift wafted over him, putting a slight bounce in his step. As he headed towards the mess hall, he saw Leah coming towards him. Leah was definitely the prettiest girl on the ship, with her brunette hair and big brown eyes. She was always friendly to everyone and was exemplary at her job. She's great, Mikey said to himself as he rounded the corner to the mess hall. Sidling up to the food dispenser, he picked his favorite chow, pounded the dispensing button, and took a bowl of stew over to a table. Looking good, my man, he heard over his shoulder as his best friend James plopped down across from him. Mikey gave him a fist bump. Excited for your shift? James asked. Mikey was so engrossed in his food, an enthusiastic nod was about all he could manage. He was barely able to finish before the shift change alert notified him it was time to head to the bridge. Mikey waved at James, dropped his bowl off, and hurried towards the center of the ship to begin his duties for the day. As he got closer, he began hooking his neural upgrades into the ship's computer to get a full diagnostic as well as any issue reports from the previous shift. Mikey paused before the giant doors to the bridge and took a deep breath. This was his favorite moment. Tapping the door pad, the two doors hissed open, allowing him access to the inner sanctum. A flurry of activity as the shifts changed. Mikey simply loved the display of colors, the smells of crew, and the sound of the ship functioning at peak efficiency. The Wanderer wasn't the most technologically advanced ship in the fleets, but she served an important mission: exploration. It was the Wanderer's 5-year mission to scan and catalog the development at the edge of the galaxy. And Mikey was a key part of that endeavor. Mikey practically leapt out onto the custom-made chair beside the captain, grinning as she stroked behind his ears. The evolution of dogs as resources had been a natural one. Early ships had been human-only, and the physiological impacts on the interpersonal conflicts had nearly torn several ships apart. By simply adding dogs into the equation, it fixed a myriad of social issues. It wasn't until many years later that the neural upgrades and implants were added and, while speech was never possible, something about how dog thoughts were formed. Dogs were also able to sense things happening in and around the ship in ways humans simply couldn't. It worked wonders for everyone involved, Mikey serving as an early warning system and the rest of the canine crew helping to stabilize the crew and interface with the ship's systems in various ways. And the sense of a companionship kept the ship efficient and friendly place to live and work. Before Mikey could get settled in, he felt something off. Turning to the captain, he gave 2 sharp barks, noting that a ship would be exiting FTL soon. Checking the charts, there weren't supposed to be any ships for more than a dozen night years. This was not great. All hands, yellow alert, incoming unidentified FTL breach, everyone at the ready, Captain Walker calmly announced to the ship. Mikey's safety harness automatically secured him as he began scanning the ship's systems to ensure that weapons, shield, engineering, and support crews were prepped. Satisfied, he turned to the screen as space folded on itself as a large, strange vessel appeared directly in front of them. Something felt off, but Mikey couldn't put his paw on it. The other ship was huge, angular in design, with flowing edges that ended sharply. It looked fast. It looked vicious. It looked... Before Mikey could figure out how it looked, their comm screen blinked on and Mikey's hackles went instinctively up. This was definitely not great. On screen was about what could generously be called an evil fucking cat. Greetings, pray. End of story. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.